Hi there, Wastelanders. My name is Stu. I'm new to the Commonwealth, but at first blush, I have to say that y'all are crazy up here. You see, I'm a wanderer. You could even call me a lone wanderer. I made my way from the capital Wasteland after hearing incredible stories of the untapped resources of the Commonwealth. I heard of this crazy place called the Institute to be sure, but most areas have a boogeyman lurking in the shadows, don't they? Before I get ahead of myself, let me start from the beginning of my story. I've been wandering up the eastern seaboard of the United States for several years now. I got into a bit of a jam after my wife passed and decided to hit the road. I grew up in the capital Wasteland, had a few adventures there, but that all ended when my wife was killed by a group of raiders. I wandered for a bit, exploring the ruins of Philly and New York, even went up to Montreal for a bit. After exploring Portland, Maine, I decided it was time to pay a visit to Boston, the heart of the Commonwealth. I was making my way through the mountains and I stumbled upon one of them Vault-Tec vaults. Having some familiarity with them, I figured I'd cruise on down there and check it out. I do have a Vault-Tec approved pip pad after all. I was making my way to the control center to open the outer vault door when it activated on its own. I hid behind some crates to see what was going on. Can't be too cautious, you know. A single man emerged, frantic as all get out, screaming about some Nora and a Sean. I don't even know either of those names, so I just stayed put, since I didn't have anything to add to that. He then peeled off his vault suit and went running off into the mountains. I heard some loud roars and screams come from that direction not too long after. I sure do hope he'll be okay. It's been quite a few years since I'd seen one of those old vault jumpsuits, and his was in real nice condition, so I decided to keep hold of it for a while till I figured out what I could do with it. I waited a bit to make sure no one else was going to come springing out of the vault before I made my way down. I've seen some messed up crap in vaults before, but freezing the occupants is definitely a new one for me. That's where I ended my first night in the Commonwealth. The beds weren't too bad, for Vault-Tec anyways. Day 2 brings me to this little town called Sanctuary Hills. Since I'm looking for a place to settle down, I thought I'd better check it out. It was just down the hill after all. What a mess this place is. These buildings just itching to fall over, creaking and moaning like the wind's just going to push them all down. This won't do for a proper place, and it seems a bit far from what looks like civilization to me. Luckily, I think I can use this material later on, so I might as well do some work and clean this place up. I'd hate for some settlers to come along thinking that they hit the gold mine here, only to have the buildings collapse on them the first night. Day 3. It felt good to use my hands again, even if it was to tear down all these old houses. I got a good bit done before nightfall, but that pesky Mr. Handy kept yelling at me to mind the hedges. Now I wake up to him beeping, buzzing, and shouting at me in a British accent. I think it's time to get out of Sanctuary. I'll come back later for all the stuff I stored up in that workshop. I hightail it out of town as that blasted robot keeps yelling at me about petunias or some such thing. I start heading toward downtown Boston, and I stumble upon a man and his dog laying in the road dead. How sad. Maybe I use this old red rocket truck stop as a place to hole up. Oh no, a guard dog. Obviously someone else is living there. Definitely don't want to be heading there. Guess I'll head down toward this town right here. Now, I think that road sign back there said that this was Concord. Maybe, just maybe, they have a nice community built up there. Maybe there's some nice folk there. And I could take over one of these buildings and fix it right up. Gotta be careful though. Maybe they have lookouts and they don't like intruders coming in. Guess I'll go up this way. Let's take a look. No, I'm not seeing nobody. Yep, and my pip pad just told me this is Concord. So I guess I'll make my way a little bit closer. See if I can see anybody in the street. Nope, don't see nobody that way. Maybe I can get their attention. Was that gunshots? Oh, hell no. I'm definitely not going there. Guess I'll just keep heading this way. And they're having a good old gunfight over there. Hope they're not coming this way. Wow, they're close. I guess I'll head down this road. Concord's definitely not a place I want to be heading. A short walk later and I found it. Some place where no one else had thought to make a home. Well, except for maybe some mole rats. This is a right good location, I believe. Lots of trees around, definitely some concrete, and we don't seem to be too far from some industrial and built-up areas for more resources. This area sure is violent, though. We'll have to build a proper settlement here, make sure it's well fortified and protected. Might even be able to get some of the locals to come live here with me, strength in numbers and all. Yes, I believe this old Starlight Drive-In will work perfectly.
There you are, Wastelanders, the introduction of Stu Pedasso as he begins his journey in the Commonwealth, looking to leave his mark and build his home. How will the Commonwealth change him? Will he become more jaded, or is he going to change the Commonwealth? Tune in weekly for this 12-week Evolution of a Settlement challenge. Make sure to check out the builds of all the other contestants as well. I'll put a link to a playlist in the description below. This is Draco Invictus, and this has been the greatest day in my life. See ya!